In the last section, we went over these three differences between JSX and HTML. Now this diagram right here, I was kind of not being super truthful with you. Let me be totally honest here. It turns out that there actually are a couple other differences, but at the end of the day, it's kind of challenging for any one person to sit down and list out all of the exact differences between JSX and HTML. So in this section, I want to teach you how you can figure out some of the differences between these two on your own. Let me show you how. I want you to flip back over to your React application inside the browser. Now, at present, it looks like everything is running just fine. We can see our content appear on the screen. However, I want you to open up your browser console. You can do so by right-clicking anywhere and clicking on Inspect. You'll then see a window like this appear either on the bottom of the screen or the right-hand side. At the top of this panel, find the Console button. When you click on that, you're going to see a big red warning, like the one I see right here. This is a warning coming from the React library, and it says invalid DOM property 4. Did you mean HTML4? So like I said, it turns out that there are a couple other differences between JSX and HTML. At the end of the day, many of these differences will not crash your application, and so sometimes it's going to be a little challenging for you to detect when you've done something slightly wrong. In order to detect when you've made a typo or referred to an invalid property, you should traditionally leave your console open, or at least reference it every now and then. React is going to look at all the different properties you're passing to elements inside of your JSX blocks. And if it ever sees that you are passing in an invalid property, it's going to show you a warning message like the one that you see right here. So this warning message is essentially telling us that our label right here has an attribute name of 4. And React doesn't want to deal with that. It wants us to replace it with HTML4 with a capital F like so. Why is that? Well, it's a very similar reason to the class name. When we put in 4, the fear was, way back in the earlier days of React, that some different browsers or some different tooling might incorrectly see this 4 word right here and incorrectly interpret it as a traditional JavaScript for loop, like so. So that was the fear. As I said earlier, not really an issue. As you just saw a moment ago, our application works in the browser just fine without error. Nonetheless, the requirement is still encoded in the React library. So we have to replace it with HTML4. Now if I do that, I can save this, flip back over, and I'll see that that warning message just went away. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is, in general, as a web developer, it's good practice to keep your console open. Anytime that you see a warning message from React like that, something that says, did you mean blank? Usually it's going to mean that you accidentally put together an invalid property name somewhere inside of your JSX. Okay, so with that lesson in mind, let's take a quick pause here and continue in the next video.